Hello, this is Greg Alson, Green Grays, coming to you on the 20th of May, 2021. Time on deck, 21:03 hours Central Daylight Time. And I have good news. And the good news is that there has been a ceasefire agreement between the Israeli forces, IDF, Israel, and Hamas. And there's to take effect at 2 a.m. their time in Israel and Palestine. So there you are. The situation that has gone on for 11 days of intense conflict with lots of casualties is coming finally to an end. What does this mean? Are there other ramifications? We're going to get all into that. We'll talk about that. So before we do that, though, I would like to say, let's look at something here, guys. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, bang the update notification bell, and click all, because I'm always bringing you more news in this series of eyes wide open and head on the swivel, so you know what's coming at you. Because even in peace, there can be preparations for other things, and so you've always got to be ready. One of the ways you can get ready, as I've often talked about on this channel, is growing your own food, and I have plenty of videos about growing your garden, about microgreens. I do some on aquaponics, worm farming, but even also wild edibles that you can eat for free from the wild. So, but you know, guys, like I said, growing your garden is very important, and now's the time to plant. So do go to True Leaf Market, because they got great seeds. We're going to look at this real quick. True Leaf Market, I've got links below in my show notes and in my pin notes for True Leaf Market. Check it out, guys. You can get all these good GMO free seeds that are also heirloom seeds, so you can keep planting the same stuff for garden seeds, microgreens, sprouting, cover crops, flowers, herbs, wheatgrass, all kind of good stuff. And you can get the supplies to grow it with. Right now's the time to do this. I do have videos on how to grow microgreens. If you get into that, here's just tons of vegetables in here, all kind of good yummy stuff that you can grow. And that's how you know what you're going to be eating and your family is when you grow it yourselves. When the price is going up, these are skills you need to acquire and work on to take care of your family. So trust me on that. So we're going to stop that share. Halo. True Leaf Market. Now check that out. All right, now, so what's happened, as you may know, is that this conflict has actually been very intense. Gaza has been the center of it, Gaza and Israel, and the Gaza Strip is like one of the most populated, densely populated areas on Earth. And they say that 72,000 people there in the Gaza Strip have been displaced from a home. And actually, the Hamas fired more than 4,000 rockets into Israel. Now, the Iron Dome is said to have intercepted over 90% of those. But even intercepts, that means it don't hit its target, but there's still a lot of shrapnel hitting the ground. All that stuff is still coming down somewhere, just maybe not explosively, but holy smoke, you don't want to be on the receiving end of all that. Or the bombardments that Israel put upon Gaza. Like I said, Gaza is a very, very densely populated area. And if you look at it, it's just all high rises. It's like a city everywhere. So you can imagine when these huge explosions are going off, what effects that's having. And in the aftermath, you get all these burned out hulks of buildings. So it's a deplorable situation. I'm glad it's coming to an end. But it had a lot of propensity to escalate. A lot of countries were getting mad over the whole thing. As I said, Turkey under Recep Erdogan and also Vladimir Putin were talking about things. And get this, guys. Here's the latest. I got to share this with you. The latest in the threats of who thinks maybe they should do something about this, what they think maybe they should do. And this may just be hot air, and it probably is, but just the very attitude reflecting this article is a bit discerning, a very discerning attitude. Check this out, guys. Ding, 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 ding. Here we go. Pakistan. The Pakistani MP, member of their parliament, calls for nuking the Jewish state. Nuking. As you know, Pakistan has the wherewithal to do that if they should so choose. They have a number of weapons, and so does Israel. We've talked about the prospects for a war between Pakistan and India, bringing us into a nuclear winter, maybe a mini nuclear winter, not quite like between the United States and Russia, but it would still be very devastating to the world. Very devastating. Loss of ozone, drop in climate, worse than the year that we had, with year without a summer as it's known. It could be far worse than that. And last 10 years, that was 1 year. So guys, this is not something trivial. What this says is, why in the world do we leave such power in the hands of dumb politicians? Why do dumb politicians have their finger on the button? Because they don't realize the ramifications of what they're talking about. So here, so they've talked about this, but the statement in here that really, really, really causes me pause is this one. Did we make atomic bombs to show them in a museum? What? They're made, you would hope they're made for deterrence in case you never would want to use such a thing. But really, did we make atomic bombs to show them in a museum? This is the attitude of a member of parliament in any country that's got this kind of devices at their fingertips. Yikes. He says, we don't need missiles, atomic bombs, or a huge army if they can't be used to liberate Palestine. Wow, wow, wow. Do you know what you're talking about there, Mr. Chit Raleigh? Is that his name? Chit Raleigh. Did I say that right? Guy, you know what you can bring down on your head with such a maneuver as that? Don't forget, you're not the only country with these things. Yeah, you have them. If you start using them on Israel, India might see that as an opportunity to come strike you anyway, because they're probably just itching for an edge. Then you have a full-out regional war there. Not to mention, Israel's not going to take it sitting down, guys. Israel is armed to the teeth. So, this is not what you want to think about. This, hopefully you were just speaking out of passion and you really wouldn't consider such things. But this statement right here, this statement I find highly disconcerting. Did we make atomic bombs to show them in a museum? Wow. Wow. Oh yeah, the guy's name is Marlana Citrelli. Did I say that right? Probably not. I apologize if I murder your name, even though you suggested doing the same to more than names. Yikes. That would be suicidal to say the least. This came out on May the 19th. This article did. Wow, wow, wow. Yesterday. All right, guys, let's hope that saner heads prevail. But, the problem is when you get so many of these things out there, so many countries have them, and there's so much time and changing of hands. How long does it take for somebody who's not a saner head to have his finger on the buttons? That's what's scary about this proliferation. That is a thing to be concerned about. But there's more than this to be concerned about. And, oh yeah, look who's taking credit, guys. It's actually the Egyptians who are broke on this deal. All right, enough of this sharing. Halo. Real quick. We're going to be down here. As I've said in other videos, it might have been that Israel instigated this whole thing just to get to goad Hamas into attacking them so they could take Hamas down a few pegs. Because Israel's been really chomping at the bit to hit at Iran. So maybe this whole thing with Syria. Syria's been significantly weakened. They're not at the strength level they had been. I would say Iran and Syria has somewhat been weakened by all the strikes all over. They're still there. Hezbollah, maybe somewhat. And now Hamas at the rear of Israel. So now that the left flank has been softened up some, and the back, the rear has been softened up some, maybe Israel feels more confident about striking out against Iran. But then they got to mend some fences too before they do that. In Saudi Arabia, some other places, but maybe they're going there. Maybe it'll take a little time. Maybe they can't jump in and instantly. But especially with Hamas, it's going to take Hamas years to recover to the level they were at before. But let's hope that they don't get so goaded next time. I know what their goal is to take Israel back, take all of Palestine. It's just not looking likely that that's an achievable goal. I hope they can find some other amenable goal that would serve their people far better than they're being served today. I think that's a possibility. And also the people of Israel. I think if you could find some way to make peace, you could do it on terms where everybody would be better served than they're served now. Two wrongs don't make a right. And there's a lot of wrongs being committed over there, including the way a lot of that land was appropriated. But in the end, it's time to mend. It's time to make some peace, if that's at all possible. We know those are the prophecies. The prophecies They have a lot of rough things coming at us. But for now, let's see if we can have at least a spell of peace. Maybe it'll work, but maybe it's just a ploy for a bigger conflict. Well, that's why I tell you guys, keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel. And if you're one of my followers, you're a swivel head because that's what you do. You keep your eyes wide open, head on a swivel. And we stay aware of what's going on. I always say, don't be scared, be prepared. Oh yeah, check out my $200 off a 3-month supply of 25-year licensed food at prepwithgreg.com while you're at it. So with all that said, guys, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes open. Much more to come. Oh yeah, I'll be doing a session tonight on my other channel, my sister channel, Galactic Gregs, with an old friend, Bill Brown. We're going to be talking about the Halo program, high altitude liftoff, where we started building, developing hybrid rockets and launching high altitude balloons. They got me this big space award here, amongst other things. So that should be entertaining. Be on the Galactic Gregs channel. I'll put a link to the channel showing this to you, hopefully, if I got time. That video starts really soon. All right, buddy. I might even do that one before I post this one. Anyway, thank y'all for watching.